There's a quote by Blaise Pascal, who's a French-born mathematician and physicist. He was born in the 17th century, and he was a child prodigy who was taught by his father. He contributed to Pascal's triangle in probability theory. He also invented the early digital calculator and roulette machine. He said all man's miseries derive from not being able to sit quietly in a room alone. The wandering, uncontrolled mind can be a terror for anyone, especially when it comes to bedtime or sleep, and you're not able to turn it off, your mind, and relax. If you have this issue, that means that you need to implement changes in order to bridle your mind and use it as the tool in which it was designed to be used. It's next to impossible to make good decisions when you don't have peace of mind. You can strengthen your peace of mind by getting alone daily for a specified period of time and do absolutely nothing besides observing your breath, not controlling your breath, but observing it, and also observing the thoughts that go on in your mind without judgment or attachment to it. By doing this activity consistently, you will begin the process of you becoming more aware that your mind is simply your processing center. There's a quote by Lao Tzu in which he said, "Silence is a source of great strength." In your quietness and stillness of mind, it will ultimately be your strength. It's next to impossible to make good decisions or interact appropriately with others when your mind is not at peace. Have you ever stayed awake really late at night, alone, with no television, phones, reading materials, etc., and just sat in quietness? There's such a stillness and strength in that stillness that's unexplainable. It's refreshing and yet strengthening at the same time. There's this quote by an anonymous source. I don't know who said it, but they said, "Silence isn't empty, it's full of answers." By me being still and quieting my mind in the presence of other people, I've been able to escape making bad decisions and being deceived by others whenever I've practiced that. When you're quiet, you're able to be in tune with the slight inner promptings that lead you and guide you to let you know which direction you should go. I'm sure we've all had this experience before. You made a decision one way, even though there was something in your heart, an inner prompting, telling you that it was wrong. And you went with your intellect or reasoning anyway, only to later find out you did make the wrong decision. That's the value of quietness, stillness of mind. You become more in tune and yield more to the subtle inner promptings that has always been there. What has been happening is that you allow your intellect to override your true self. What cannot be seen with our physical eyes is more powerful than what is seen with our physical eyes. That's because the unseen made or created the seen, or what we see. Which is greater, the skyscraper or the man that created the skyscraper? The source of something is always greater than that which it creates. We are so easily enamored by the shiny things and toys in life. I believe that for every problem we encounter in life, there is an answer or solution to that problem. The solution can be received through another person or your inner self. Silence is good for overall physical health and well-being. From a physiological standpoint, research suggests that silence helps lowers the blood pressure, boosts the body's immune system, and promotes good hormone regulation. According to the study conducted in 2006, just 2 minutes of silence relieves tension in the body and brain and is more relaxing than listening to music. Silence also benefits brain chemistry by growing new cells, according to a study that was conducted in 2013, which found that 2 hours of silence could create new cells in the hippocampus region, which we know is the part of the brain located in the medial temporal lobe of the brain, the area which is linked to learning, remembering, and emotions. As I mentioned earlier, it's tough to not be able to stop your mind from racing, especially when it's bedtime. There was a study published around 2015, I believe, by JAMA, J-A-M-A, Internal Medicine. They studied older adults who had insomnia, who improved their sleep after undergoing a 6-week intervention of mindfulness meditation. There's literally no downside to finding time to be in silence, quietness on a daily basis. Now, here are some more ways to help quiet or still your mind. But for starters, you have to really want to see a change in your life in order to make a decision to continually practice utilizing these tools on a daily basis. My mentor told me several years ago now that pain is a persuader, and if you really hurt enough, you will try just about anything to get relief. Progressive muscle relaxation is something that I learned from a professor in undergrad. The professor actually, he had the entire class practice this together. We began by sequentially tensing specific muscle groups for about 10 seconds at a time, and then relaxing them for about 15 seconds. We started from the bottom of our feet. Then we went to legs, hips, pelvis, our back, torso, arms, shoulders, neck, face, and we ended it by tensing our entire body, then releasing. This is literally the same principle as working out when the body releases endorphins, which relaxes you. I know you all have had a similar experience after working out, and when you sit down for a few moments afterwards, and that calmness you feel in your body. Belly breathing is another. You can sit in a chair or lie on the floor with your eyes closed and place your hands on your belly. Become aware of your breath and inhale and exhale slowly and deeply, letting your hands get a physical experience of your breath. Continue breathing this way until it becomes involuntary for at least 5 minutes or longer. A couple others are guided imagery, counting your breath. These tools will help you immensely if you practice them consistently. There's a quote by an unknown author, and he said, "The tree of silence bears the fruit of peace." If you presently find yourself to be in chaos, both physically and or mentally, simply imagine yourself bringing peace to your own self in quietness and silence. Everything you need to create it is within you presently. There's a gold mine of treasures of peace within you. Simply rearrange the furniture of discord within you, and everything you touch and every person you come in contact with will bear witness to the peace that emanates from you. There's a story of an old man who had acres of property for his yard. And a friend came over one day and asked him why he didn't have any ponds and water fountains in order to increase the beauty of his home and property. The old man said, I do want those things in my yard, but I don't know how to get all the water I would need to my property in order to make it happen. His friend told him, all you have to do is dig the ponds, and the water will come from underneath the earth. Essentially, the ponds and water fountains were already there in his yard, but all he had to do was get the dirt out of the way. Everything you need for your peace of mind is already there within you. But you simply need someone like me to tell you to remove the proverbial dirt out of your way. Will you listen? Can you hear me? Deep within you? Do something about it. Implement whatever changes you need to implement.